Everyone, welcome to another edition of Adorned with Dignity. We're on day 5, and we're going through the constant mitzvot. And today we're going to be talking about the constant mitzvot to love Hashem. This is a mitzvot that's easier said than done. I have to say that in this stage of my life, I'm very happy with the progress that I've made with Hashem. But for sure, the fact that I realize what the meaning of love is, and through my relationship with Hashem, I really learned that I'm capable of a love despite itself. A love that is not dependent upon Hashem giving me everything I want. Because in truth, I've had a very hard life. I've had a very difficult life. I had a lot of very painful experiences. And the fact that I'm able to come back and just, with open arms despite everything, really tells me that I'm capable of that kind of love with Hashem. But again, that's all through His mercy. And also the fact that Hashem, He loves me despite the fact that all the things He tells me to do, a lot of times I didn't do them. I was a knucklehead, like I always so famously say, very hard-headed, and I had to go through a lot of difficult experiences. Nevertheless, Hashem's kindness to me never ceases, and His level of care for my personal well-being never ceases to amaze me, and that's the way He cares for each and every one of us. He just cares about every single thing that you're going through. So we're going to be talking about the mitzvot to love Hashem. And in the Sefer HaChinuk, it explains that this love should exceed all love in this world, kind of like the Shir HaShirim. So it says loving Hashem is a mitzvah in the Torah that applies to both men and women and is relevant every second of the day. So not just, once a day, like everything we do, we have to have Hashem in mind. And it says, how do we achieve a deep feeling of love for Hashem on a constant basis? And the Ramban, that's with an N, the Ramban derives the answer from the words of the Pasuk. Love Hashem through performing His mitzvot with such great enthusiasm as if Hashem had given them to you today. Ironically enough, during this recording, we're in the time of Shavuos. But the other thing I like to say also is that a lot of times when I perform the mitzvot, I perform them also as if it were the last mitzvot I would ever do. And again, just given the time that we're in, Mashiach can come at any moment, and hopefully He'll come by the end of this year. But a lot of times I feel, what if this were the last mitzvot I can do today? And certainly I'd want to put all my koyach and strength into it. And that's really helped me to give me the kavanah to really focus in on what I have to do. Now, that's a work in practice. That's not something that's just perfectly executed every time I do it, but that's usually my mindset. And it says, we have access to a simple yet profound method of attaining true love with Hashem. Each time we fulfill a mitzvah with a great joy, we cultivate a deep affection for Him. So in your day-to-day, even if you're in the home with the children, let's say you work at home with your children and you maintain the house on a full-time basis, even in this, it's possible to serve Hashem. And, the best way to make sure that it becomes mitzvot is that you can make the statement saying, I'm hereby performing the mitzvah of emulating Hashem. Just as Hashem cares for His children, I'm caring for my family with joy. Through uttering these simple yet sincere declarations of our heart, we will be filled with true joy for the mitzvah. So, again, if you gotta clean up the living room, might as well, turn it into a mitzvah and keep Hashem as the focus, So it says, cultivating love through gratitude. It says, another effective way of gaining love for Hashem is through gratitude. And as we contemplate the goodness of Hashem, the goodness Hashem bestows upon us every second of our lives, we should sincerely thank Him. Our hearts will overflow with the love for our Creator. Now, it's funny because this is one of those things that it really is almost like a supernatural thing. The more that your ears hear your lips thanking Hashem, the more you will do it. And the more grateful you will become for every single thing. And then you will start to realize, how much Hashem is taking care of us in their day-to-day. And it says, actualizing the trait of gratitude in our lives. It says, how can we train our minds to focus on the good in our lives? By thanking Hashem for every small kindness that He bestows upon us, right? Saying out loud throughout the day, thank you, Hashem, for you are good and your kindness is infinite. And, the truth is, when we get to Shemaim, we're going to see even, all the things we didn't even realize that He was saving us from, things we didn't even realize were issues. How many times did you go somewhere and even before you knew you needed something, Hashem already provided provided it for you. So Hashem is really amazing that way, and He's taking care of us every single second of the day. If you're listening to this, He's taking care of you. If you're breathing, He's taking care of you. If you woke up, He's taking care of you, right? So He's always taking care of you. So we got to thank Hashem for every single thing. It says, awesome reward for thanking Hashem. It says, through expressing gratitude to Hashem, we will gain an awesome reward, which is found in the pasuk, that when we thank Hashem, the Hashem will show us His boundless kindness. And indeed, David HaMelech teaches us this in Tehillim. And this is the key to attain a life of goodness. And it says, that Hashem is ready to bring us Yeshuas. And it says that yet we, how do we earn this? And it says to bless Him and thank Him. And that's how we earn this zechus. So the question is asked, why is the power of thanking so great that it generates so many Yeshuas? And it says that if a child thanks his mother constantly for everything that she did for him, the mother naturally wants to give endlessly to such a child. And it's the same with Hashem, our loving Father, who yearns to hear His children thanking Him. And when a person praises Him on a constant basis, Hashem says, let me give him more good so that he will thank me even more. And also the statement is true too, that even if you're thanking Hashem for something you think, you woke up and you ate today and you say, thank you, Hashem, today was so great. Even if it wasn't so great, but you thank Him, thank you, Hashem, was kaparat today. I went out, I went to go eat, and my food didn't come out quite as I wanted to, but I am so grateful that I ate today. Hashem says she thinks that's good. I want to really show her good now. So, it is. I mean, think about it with your own children. The more grateful they are, the more you do want to bestow upon them. And it does say that countless people have reported seeing open miracles as a result of thanking Hashem for the challenges and the gifts in their lives. One of the books that kind of highlights this is The Garden of Gratitude by Harav Shalom Arush. Great book. But for sure, I think, again, we have to be careful. We live in a generation where we are very much catered to for everything. And we live in a society where, the customer is always right, even when they're not right. And sometimes we can take on that attitude and just think that things are owed to us. And the truth is that Hashem doesn't owe us anything. Everything that we are getting is on behalf of His kindness. So we have to be grateful for that. You have to remember, we're here to do a job in order to earn Olam Haba. And we really have to be grateful for the fact that we woke up today to get another chance to build our Olam Haba. I mean, just think of all the neshamot that are niftar already, that they can't do any more Torah mitzvot. So, it's a very, very special thing just to be here in order to gain zechus, to get your Olam Haba. And it's not something we should take for granted. It should be something that we should think about really every moment that we can, to the point where it becomes just second nature to us. And part of that is thanking Hashem for the fact that we're here. As am I grateful to be here speaking with all of you, which is one of my favorite things to do, just speaking with all of you, connecting with all of you. And I'm so glad that Hashem allows me to do this. So thank you, Hashem. Thank you so much. Thank you for all my sisters that are listening. So that's it for today. And I hope we'll all be together again soon. B'ezrat Hashem.